Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the TFC YouTube channel, where today we will be discussing the Manchester United protests, obviously outside and inside Old Trafford. Today, as always, Mr. Jazz11 Jack is back with me to discuss this matter today. We did discuss a little bit about it before the episode, but it's an interesting and it's quite a debatable topic. Surprisingly, there's some people that are saying they're kind of idiotic for raiding their own stadium, but there's also other people saying that it's a powerful message. Which side are you on here, Mr. Jazz11? Do you back the fans, or do you say actually it's a bit stupid? Why the hell have they done this?
I'm kind of in the middle, to be honest. I know that's a really, really crappy answer, but
so actually we're going to switch the video idea today. No. Yeah. I think it's very you can be in the middle with it. I think in many ways, I guess the sense of the pandemic. I mean, there is kind of a virus going around, and but
I'm not too bothered about that. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that is a side that not many people do discuss actually on these football shows. It's a side they don't really discuss. It's ever since the Chelsea protest, there's been so many.
It's kind of gone out the window. I generally haven't heard anything about the pandemic for ages.
It has gone out the window. The only thing that's actually leaving a sign of COVID is the fact that, well, we're still in a lockdown in the UK.
We can't get in the studio.
Oh, we might as well mention it while we're at it. We are getting very close to the return of the TFC studio. We're really excited to get back in there now. Return of the studio. So we are going to be getting back in there. Obviously, Mr. Jazz11's in there now, but we will be returning, and it's going to be, let's just say, the month ahead. Well, the time back. We want to grind when we get back in that studio. So make sure to subscribe with notifications on, leave a like and all that. And yeah, back to Manchester United and obviously the protest that took place. I'm assuming you agree with the Man United fans in the sense of Glazers out. I know you're not a Man United supporter, so technically you kind of want them in, but still, it's
they're bad for the sport.
Yeah, they're, as much as they are bad for the club, they are bad for the sport. I think owners, they are slowly
behind the European Super League, so don't like them.
Yeah. Then again, there's a lot of people that got behind the European Super League.
They're very greedy.
And every single one of them people that got behind it was,
it's mainly Juve, Real Madrid, and Manchester United that are big driving forces behind.
Yeah,
ESL,
I think we've discussed this before. How every single person
that went European Super League to death.
Yeah, but it was extremely greedy, and this is really what's fueled it all. Let's face it, all the protests outside all the grounds, it's been fueled by the European Super League. I mean, I was going to get into this later on, but while we're at the point of it, I've got some Twitter reactions and just fan reactions in general. One person saying that
Twitter.com.
Twitter.com. It's good bird messaging app. But yeah, so
you message birds on there,
they're saying here that it's their funeral, as in the Glazers. That your funeral, not ours. Manchester United will never die as a football club. Like this is a quote that I guess does make sense with the owner, in a sense. Unless the owner does something seriously, very, very bad, the club won't fold. And at the end of the day, that you'd like to think with these kind of movements, and it's very sad to get to this point where fans have to raid their own stadium. They have to break into their own stadium, and just to try and prove a point to their owners and to the board and all that. I think it's
that's the thing. I agree with the message. Don't agree with the way they went about it. The vandalism and the attacking the police and the frames of the police.
That's the side that you can't get behind.
That's just unacceptable.
You can't get behind. You cannot get behind the criminal damage that was left, especially the brutality towards the police. I wasn't aware. I wasn't actually I was actually live streaming GM19 on YouTube when this was happening. So I didn't really know. I wasn't that educated on it. And only today did I actually realize the bad side of it. I didn't realize how, they actually vandalized, there was criminal damage, there was police officers being assaulted, and that kind of side of things.
Disgraceful.
You'd like to think that was a small minority that kind of took it just too far. And there was definitely a minority that was there just to cause trouble and not really there for the message. But you'd like to think, the
People on the pitch
majority
was
was
cool,
there to
though.
prove a message. And there was a lot of people, obviously, outside the stadiums. And this is another thing. There was people that weren't going inside the stadiums. They were trying to peacefully protest outside. And some people
It
genuinely
was
did
kind of
come
cool
for
seeing
a
all the people
peaceful...
just chilling on the pitch.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
But
class.
the original idea was, for some people, a peaceful protest outside the ground. A bit like you've seen at
It
the
kind of
likes of
shows the difference,
Emirates.
doesn't it?
Um,
If you look at the Arsenal and Chelsea, I mean, one, the security, and two, the fans are incredibly respectful. They had games on. They
mm,
still want the games to be played. They just still want to protest the message.
yeah.
United fans went with the biggest change, biggest way we can enforce change is to ruin this game and make sure it doesn't go ahead.
And this is
I
another thing.
think,
Obviously,
yeah,
not just fan reactions are saying this. This is a well-known thing now. That fixture is one of the biggest fixtures you could say in possibly world football.
yeah, it is.
It's
It's
a
a massive
massive,
rivalry.
massive fixture, massive rivalry. The money that's in that for the TV, just for everyone in general in football. There's a lot of money in that game, and to finish that game and postpone that game and stop that game from being played on not only the day
Yeah,
but within a couple of hours before the game, it was
I
a
have seen point
massive
deductions threatened.
inconvenience.
I think there will possibly be point deductions or
Mm,
fines, but
fines.
it's unknown because obviously they just like they had to call off the game. So that's I think as a Chelsea fan, I'm kind of biased and I want the points deduction because if United
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
like a 6 point deduction, they're level on points with Chelsea. That gives Chelsea the chance to go second,
I
but
think a point deduction could
it's
be.
a bit harsh.
It
But
is
equally, it
harsh,
was the
but
fans.
mm,
Like people saying, "Oh, they can't take the points away from the clubs because of all the European Super League thing." That would be unfair to the
mm,
fans. But this was the fans. They did go on the pitch and they had to abandon the game because of it. And that's
yeah.
because of the owner's previous actions. So it's not like anyone's in the right
In the
here.
right there. Yeah, there's no one
All
really
of the
in the
United
right.
fans,
It's
anyway.
postponed one of the biggest
And for other
fixtures in
players,
world
I
football.
guess.
And let's face it, their tactic has worked. Now everyone knows about this. Collectively in world football, they know. I even like someone like
Well, let's
me,
talk
I'm
about it.
more
I mean, we're talking
educated
about it
on
right now.
what the whole Glazers, the whole situation with the Glazers at Manchester United. I'm more educated on it now than I was like a couple of days ago before this whole thing came across. Their tactic has worked. And while the way that some people executed it was very, very incorrect, they shouldn't have done it like that. The message
The
was put
majority
across.
did
The
it well.
majority did it in a correct way.
There are
Even
some iconic pictures, to be fair.
mm,
Like that kid's lying on top of the goal net's quality.
yeah,
Just sat
there
on the
was
crossbar. It's
some
brilliant.
good picture. Have you seen the one for that there were like Wayne Rooney's arrived in Old Trafford? It's
Yeah.
the guy doing an overhead kick and scoring. It was. Let's face it, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity that no one
Yeah,
on
you
that
get to go
pitch is
and
going
play
to get again. You're
Old
never going to be able
Trafford as
to
a United
play
fan, that's
on
massive.
that pitch like, ever again.
Yeah.
And let's face it. What are the odds that they're going to be able to
Fans always
pinpoint
remember.
every single one of them people every single person that broke in and tell them anything? They're not going to be able to get through to every single
There
person
will
that got
be.
in there.
I don't know whether they'll make arrests, but they probably
Mm,
will because obviously it's like
yeah,
breaking,
but you would
entering, and
think
trespassing and that.
obviously
So
I don't think
I think
everyone some people won't get away with it. I think the people that I imagine
they'll
I
probably
don't know
get
how
charged
they
for
got
disturbing
in.
the peace as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a few charges they could face, but
But obviously not. I don't think every single one. I don't know how many
situation.
people got into that stadium, but from the photos that I've seen, it seemed like quite a lot. The odds of them
Hmm.
charging every single one of them are probably quite low, but the odds of them charging some of them is probably quite high. The people that probably
Well,
like
I think the
led
ones who
a lot of
the big
yeah,
vandals, people who are destroying chairs and stuff and
stuff like that
breaking
is
stuff, they
where
deserve to be
they'll get
charged.
charged, and I think
That's
they
who
deserve
assaulted
to be
the
charged.
police
It's criminal
officer.
damage. It's
Yeah,
illegal.
they've done
If
something wrong.
if they were to go and storm
I
into
don't
someone's
think
house, that's it's like it's
yeah,
very.
like breaking and entering. It's not too serious a crime because they didn't steal anything. They literally ran on
I
the
guess
pitch.
in this sense of
Like, it's
the
not
way that they've
that
done
big a
it,
deal.
it's not too. It wouldn't be
They'll
the end
get
of the
they
world,
should
but it's the
get like a
way that.
caution or something. I don't think anyone's going to be doing jail time or something like that. But the people who were assaulting police officers and that
Mm.
deserve to be
Yeah, that's for
found
me.
and
Yeah,
punished for doing that.
that
That's just a step too far at that point.
it is a way. It is definitely a step too. Like they're gonna get their message across, so you don't need to assault police officers and stuff to get
Yeah,
that
it's
point
like the
across.
police got
Even more.
nothing
You're
to
not
do with
get.
it.
Yeah, they're not one of the
They throw
they're
something
not
at the
one of the
owner.
club owners. What's
And fair enough. But
yeah.
It's still if we're at the owners, it's still unacceptable, but it's a bit more understandable. Like you've literally, it's saying it's more like some of them went there to just have a fight,
Yeah, but this is
just cause some
it
trouble,
goes back
which
to
is a
what I
bit.
said of I think some people there just to cause a bit of a bit of trouble. I think they were there to some people were, and I think
Yeah.
once again this is my main minority, and there's going to be a lot of Man United fans that went there yesterday. And well, whenever this
We're
obviously this
completely
has been
respectful
recorded
and
the day
stuff.
after,
Shout out
and
them.
they would have been respectful and all that. But yeah, I mean, we can obviously compare it to the likes of the Chelsea protest, the Arsenal protest, or even there was one outside the Tottenham Stadium, was rather small protests, but
There's like 5 people
there was
there.
about 5 people. I'm still quite, I'm still waiting for
I
that
found it
actual
just
protest to
hilarious.
happen though. I'm telling you now, that should happen.
We're gonna vlog it.
Vlog
Can
it,
we go along and vlog
whack
it,
out the
please?
vlog camera, yeah. But that definitely
I'm
should
here with Jim
happen.
Hunting and Dan
But I don't
Weezy.
think it should. I don't think it should go as far, anywhere near as far as it did yesterday at the Man United ground. I think some of the
No.
actions that took place there was just a bit far, and I think most people will agree with that. Anyone with a common sense can agree that assaulting a police officer is matter alone. Yeah, as you said, nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it. And yeah, as you said, when you compare it to the likes of the Arsenal protest, as much as I hate Arsenal, they didn't break in and assault police officers. So
Yeah,
um, I
and the
think there
Chelsea one as
was
well.
better way. I mean, let's face it, the Arsenal fans, the Chelsea fans, they got their point across with them protests. The maybe getting into the stadium was an extra thing that they could have done that was a good idea, but
But I do think United's owners will take more convincing than the others.
yeah, I
With
guess so.
Chelsea,
Yeah,
it was very
yeah, I guess
much
so.
Chelsea didn't really want to be in the ESL anyway, and so when the fans turned up outside the stadium, they didn't need to run
Hmm.
on the pitch with
Yeah, yeah.
flares and stuff. All that was all that it needed
I
for them
think
to go.
the
You know what?
furthest
We
it
did
should
this
have gone
loud.
yesterday at that Man United ground at Old Trafford, the furthest it should have gone is them getting on that pitch, maybe scoring a Wayne Rooney banger
Yeah.
in one of the goals, and then
That's all you
all
see, isn't
leaving.
it? That's the main headline. It's
Yeah,
all they got on the pitch, and there was a few flares, and everyone had
yeah.
fun. It's the small minorities, the
Mm.
few headlines like stories of people being assaulted and people
Yeah.
breaking stuff. That's the problem.
Obviously, we don't want to go
Overall,
on
it
for
was
too long and
very
waffle
good.
about the same things, but I've got some more fan reactions here. We've got
Yeah.
we've got someone called Trey on Twitter saying Manchester United fan base
Oh, is that
is the
United
most
Trey?
powerful. United Trey, yeah, you know of him. You're in that
Don't
football
like him.
fandom. Manchester United fan base is the most powerful in the world. We really got the biggest game in English football cancelled, huge, and it goes back to what I said. It's one of the
Yeah.
biggest fixtures in world football. And for them to get that cancelled, postponed, whatever it's going to be, it is big. It is big. And of all
Yeah.
the fixtures to do, of all the fixtures,
Because I think any. I
any
disagree with what he
fixture
says
would
there.
have.
Because I think any fixture where the fans all decide to go to
Mm.
the pitch at the
Yeah,
same time and
it's
run on the
big. Yeah,
pitch is going to get called off.
yeah. And
I
I
don't
think
think
it's
that's
just the
anything
extra added
massive.
effect of that it was Man United versus Liverpool. It kind of brings in a
Yeah,
couple more headlines. It turns a few
that's the
more
biggest
heads.
game. But
Um,
yeah,
But if they were to do that for Man United Brighton, it would have still been big news. In the world of football.
it could literally happen at any game.
Hmm.
If all the fans come together and
Hashtag
decide they
United.
want to stop this.
Spencer Owen out. He's just a greedy. He's trying to join the European Super
Yeah.
League. Yeah. So other things. Gary Neville. I'm sure that many people will be aware of this. Gary Neville was seen fist bumping
I
a
like
protester inside of Old Trafford. Where me and I
Disgraceful.
mentioned this to you earlier on. Absolutely disgraceful. I think if a COVID outbreak happens again, it's all thanks to him. That fist
Gary
bump.
Neville, lock him up.
But yeah, on a
No,
serious
I
note,
I
do you
do like
back?
that he supports the fans.
It's good that he supports the fans, but I
Alright.
feel like he's probably one of the people that fueled the whole thing. Gary Neville, as one of the pundits, he had a
Yeah,
big
but
platform to.
equally, I'm kind of glad for that because a lot of the pundits just kind of sit there and don't
Hmm.
do anything.
Yeah,
Like, they'll
it's
talk
good
about
to
the
know that
games and
he's
that, but they'll
passionate
never
about
actually
his
talk
club
about what they're
still.
thinking.
Yeah, he's still
Yeah,
very much passionate about his club.
he actually cares.
And he is. I think it's probably a less professional thing to go and fist bump a. I don't know whether that
Because
guy
it
might.
comes from someone so
Yeah.
senior, and it's obvious it means more.
Hmm.
If it's just a fist that actually a lot of people do care about it. To the point where
Yeah.
literally an ex-United player is going to come out and speak against the Glazers by the looks of it.
Okay, another one saying not the scenes we wanted, but at least now we will be heard. I think that is kind of true.
Yeah, that sums it
Yeah,
up
some
well.
of the scenes that you would have seen, you don't want to see that, but you have got the message across. And it's, as I said earlier on, it's sad that it got to that point where some people felt like it was. Obviously, I don't think anyone felt that to get their point across, they had to assault a police officer. I think that was that minority that was just there
Yeah,
to cause, just
and there would have been
as an
people there.
excuse to
They
cause
will take advantage
violence.
of all situations, and especially one where they know they can go in there and just
Mm,
cause chaos and
yeah.
hopefully make the news.
Yeah. But I think the scenes, even the scenes of breaking into a stadium, it's sad that the fans feel like they have to get to that point just to persuade
I think
someone
it
inside
proves
the
the
club.
Glazers aren't. The Glazers should sell the club. Who
Mm.
to? I don't know, but if there's a suitable buyer, then they definitely should sell.
TFC.
Equally, it's not my decision.
Well,
Yeah,
I've got a
we
bag of
go there.
chips. Bag of chips. I don't know what do you reckon? Like a meal down at
But
where could we
they've
go?
ruined the club, but then it
Yeah,
equally is their
Greg's.
club. They bought the club, they own it. So
Yeah.
I don't like. There's not much the fans can do if
That
the
is the
Glazers
that
choose
is
to
the
keep
thing,
it.
isn't it? The club owners overall, like they own that club. They have overall that final say,
But
and that's why it's so tough to get through to some of them because
with
it's just
Arsenal, you've got Daniel Ek or Elk, the guy who owns Spotify, going in for it.
mm,
But United, there doesn't appear to be any serious bidders at the moment. So
mm.
without anyone actually interested in
That
buying it,
yeah.
why would the Glazers try and sell it?
Mm.
Makes no sense.
Another quote. It's a pretty popular quote that's been brought up a lot recently over the last a couple of weeks, and it's not one just from a Man United fan. It's just an overall quote that I've seen quite a lot being said, as I said, over the last couple of weeks. Football is nothing without the fans, and overall,
Yeah,
fans,
it's
you
not.
know, football is nothing without the fans. And it's if the fans push enough for it, I think the Glazers will eventually give in, but it's just how much that's gonna take.
Yeah, I mean, if every game's getting called off because the fans are running on the pitch, then they're definitely going to
It's
sell.
ropes. It's
And
ropes
that's
from.
the thing, though. Now the United fans are gonna go look at it
Yeah.
and go, well, if we do that every game, they're gonna sell it, aren't
Yeah,
they?
like let's face it, yeah, because like having a game like this, if they find them now, that's going to be probably a minuscule amount of money, like for the owners, but it's going to be to someone high of that status, it's going to be nothing, but it's still going to be a little bit of money, and if that's happening game in game out, the Premier League will, they will probably take action with fines if they're not going to already. And eventually, you'd like to think, as I said, they'll get through to them. But it's just how long that will take for Man United fans to get through to them.
That's the thing.
Okay,
They have
yeah.
control. They own the club. They have the money. They're in control. So it's kind of hard. They don't. United fans are kind of powerless in that sense. But
We got another Man United fan here saying that they're not worried about the point deductions or no Champions League football, getting no Sancho, etc. At the end of the day, that's the fans. It's about getting their club back. The fans getting their club back, and
I don't get
having.
Sancho anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing anyway. But yeah, I think it's another fair statement. They're not worried about this season, how many points they're going to get deducted, no Champions League, etc. It's about the fans getting their club.
Equally, I think if the Prem turn around and put them bottom, I don't think he'll be saying the
They'll
same
get
thing.
relegated
Then,
to Championship, and then we're going, oh well, at least we got our club.
Back.
We got our club back. Now we're playing against.
We're playing Bolton next year, but at least we've got our club back.
Thogden will come vlog. I'm sure that'll bring in some.
I don't even know if Bolton are in the Championship. I think that might be League One, to be fair, or League
Hang on,
Two.
just go and waffle for a second.
Bolton.
Yeah, you waffle.
They'll be playing Millwall. Oh,
are they? It's
Millwall
just given me two different leagues. I've touched on Bolton League and it's got EFL League 2 and EFL Championship. So what's happened there then?
They're in both.
They're in both. There you go.
I've not want to feel them too.
I've got a feeling they're in the chat. No, wait, no. I think they're going to get promoted to the Championship, or at least that's what they're pushing for at the moment. I think.
I thought they were in League Two though, because I'm pretty sure I did Foot Manager save with them, and they were League Two.
That's how we know. Maybe it is League Two.
Really
Oh no, it is League Two. No, you are right. Oh yeah, because they had the whole thing
remember.
with all the money in that. I guess that probably didn't help. So they're
Yeah, they
pushing
had
for
that
League One.
whole stipulation problem.
Yeah, yeah. But what can I
Yeah.
say? I'm not So it turns out they're actually in the EFL Championship and the League Two. But yeah, I'm not that educated in the history of Bolton, but they're in both leagues.
History of Bolton.
Oh, Bolton super fan. We got another quote to finish it off here. I think this is I guess it's a great one. I mentioned you before. Mentioned to Jack this one before. But millions to the Glazers. But when it rains, the roof leaks. And what have we learned from today? Well, they probably need to buy a new roof. That's probably what they need to do.
I think they're just complaining that the Glazers haven't
invested enough in the
done
roof.
repairs on.
Mate, we were trying to watch a football game and it was raining. Oh. Glazers out, Glazers out.
GM's hair is now wet.
Oh, I don't have hair, so it's all right.
Mind you, Kieran, you're fine. You got your hat on.
Yeah, I've got my hat on. Yeah, it's all right. So this is why I wear the goggles and the hat. You know, perfect for all weather conditions. But yeah, I guess as we finish off today, I think we'll just go back to that quote of football is nothing without the fans. And I think it's very much prevalent to what we've seen over the last fortnight, probably. And not the game Fortnite, no. I know what you're thinking.
No one was thinking that.
No one was thinking that. It was quite funny though. I was going on Twitter and I was looking for some quotes and I'm trying to scroll through because you would have thought Glazers Out would be trending. No, 3 Fortnites trending. Didn't even realize that thing was still going on. But it's, you know.
Shots fired.
I mean like the whole court case thing. 'Cause it's something to do with court case, wasn't it? I think it's something to do with the court case because I clicked on the thing. I quite like apples. They're probably one of the best fruits.
You're not funny.
On that note,
so not funny.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. On that note, thanks for watching today's episode of the football chat and the football chat debates. As I say, we're slowly but surely rather rapidly getting close to the return of the studio. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe, notifications on. In fact, we could actually. Is it one more video after this one? And then I think we might be.
Got one more, yeah. And then
we got one more, and then we'll be back in the studio, and it's going to be sick. We want to grind out on this TFC YouTube channel, so make sure to hit the sub button, notifications
2 weeks
on.
today, you can come back in the studio, and I can prove I'm taller than you. That's a joke on the GM channel. Go and check it out. GM19.
Yeah, go subscribe to GM19. If you turn up with stilts, because that's the only way you're going to be able to prove it. If you turn up with stilts, then that's going to be rather unfortunate. You can
see on this screen right now, I am taller than you.
Hang on, Mr. Jazz11. There you go. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching today's episode. It's massively appreciated for you tuning in today. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below if you're a Man United fan, especially your opinions on this whole thing. Mr. Jazz11, goodbye. He's now off the screen. Thanks for tuning in today, and we will see you in the next episode of the Football Chat. The studio returns very shortly. But yeah, subscribe to GM19 YouTube channel, and we will see you all later. Goodbye.